welcome back to another episode of AI Biz, the podcast where ambition meets alignment and we get real about building smart, sustainable success. I'm your host, Avik, and today we are talking about one of the most powerful and misunderstood tools in your entrepreneurial toolkit, which is AI. Yeah. So let's break it down, dear listeners. Are you a small business owner, feeling stuck because you can't afford to hire help? Or are you a solopreneur or maybe young hustler drowning in your workload while dreaming of breaking free from the 9 to 5? Or do you ever wonder how some people are doing so much and you are still buried in emails and admin, right? Yes. So let me be blunt. If you're not using AI yet, your competitors are, and you are falling behind. So, but don't worry, today's guest is here to change that. So I'm joined by Michael DiMaria. So welcome to the show, Michael.
Thanks for having me on. I love that intro that you did for the show. That's like there's so much truth in that intro that you did.
Thank you so much. And so before we delve deep into this discussion today, I love to introduce you to all the listeners. Dear listeners, Michael is the founder of Madman Marketing and a strategist who blends SEO, digital advertising, and AI automations into results driven magic. Yes. And he's not here just to talk about the hype. He's here to talk practically, like real world tools, real ROI, and strategies that actually help small business owners and young entrepreneurs scale without burning out. So, wait, let's get started. Welcome to the show again.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Amazing. So, Michael, if you can share, what's the biggest myth, or maybe I would say misunderstanding that you hear about AI when working with small business owners?
So, the biggest
Mhm,
misunderstanding that I feel like people have with AI is that is not going to replace people.
mhm,
Um, AI will replace certain jobs. They will
mhm.
replace certain people,
Okay.
but we can use this to our advantage. If you have copywriters,
Mhm,
graphic designers,
mhm,
things that people are, kind of hot topic jobs that AI is starting
mhm,
to replace, even accountants, um, anything.
mhm,
If your workers aren't using AI, you need to have a
mhm,
very real discussion with them about their place in your company because
mhm,
if your competitors, like you said, if your competitors are using AI, you are getting
yeah.
left behind. And if everybody in your company or in your business, small or large, is not using AI in some way to make their job more efficient and their output more broad and large, then you're actively losing money.
Mhm. Okay. Wow. So, I mean, how do you help them shift from overwhelm to, oh, I can actually do this like this?
Yeah. So I think for small business owners
Mm-hmm.
specifically, um, this is the only way that you can compete in the area that I live. The cost of living's a little bit lower, and it gives everybody kind of the ability to start their own business or own little side hustles or things like that. And I think we're living in an era where I could run an entire company and 90% of my workforce is AI driven. There's, my sales team, I can have AI outbound call leads when leads come in through ads organically and they fill out forms, I can have AI immediately call them and follow up and say, and it sounds
Mm,
very real. There's new AI voices that are out there that sound like me and you right now. Like I
mm,
could tell you and tell your listeners I'm an AI right now, and that's how good these voices are. Where they're starting to be, you can't even tell the difference. And so
mm,
um I think that's the biggest thing, when you're a small business, content, establishing yourself as an authority in the space
mm,
is huge. Because you don't have money to just spend on advertising, or you don't have the money to hire an entire content team. So making sure that you're utilizing AI to help you craft your ideas fast, so that you can write blogs. Having AI, if you shoot a video of yourself talking about a particular topic or even on a podcast, using AI to help you cut those clips and add
mm,
captions and everything like that. Like we're living in a time where
mm,
the ability to just produce a massive amount of output for your business is the easiest it's ever been.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like you have said that AI can act like a team member when you can't afford to hire the one. So, what are the first few things that you would tell a small business owner to automate using AI today?
Right. So first of all, I would automate your project management and your
Okay.
operations. Now you will need obviously to someone to set it up and manage it,
Mm,
but overall, like right now, I use for
mm,
one of my project management platforms, I use a couple different ones. So I use
okay.
Motion and I use Monday.com.
Okay.
Both of those project management platforms automate my tasks for me. They prioritize certain tasks for me for different clients. When it sees that there's a free space in my calendar, it will shoot me a notification and it'll say, "Hey, it looks like you don't have anything going on. You should work on this." And
Mm,
it'll actually place a calendar invite on my calendar to block out so that people can't schedule meetings. Um, I,
mm,
and it basically frees up my time to be able to do work. As a business owner,
mm,
you're not only stuck in the work, but as a small business owner, you're not only stuck in the work, but you have to do sales, you have to do operations, you
mm,
have to do internal meetings. And so making sure that your calendar is blocked out. And when you get busy, you don't always remember that. And then all of a sudden you have a million meetings on your calendar and no
mm.
time to actually do the work. And so I have AI that monitors my calendar, monitors my tasks, and fills those gaps for me.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually a relief, I would say. That's actually a relief. And you know that something is getting taken care by, and you are focusing on what's most important for you. So that's a great,
Right.
great part of it. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I imagine this like this saves not just time only, and but sanity. And in any specific tools or use cases you swear by, I mean, we can share.
Yeah. Well, besides the ones that I just mentioned, for content, when
Mm,
on a podcast or shooting my own podcast, that's video wise.
okay.
I use Opus Clip to help clip those
Mm,
clip those scenes to make kind of snackable content for YouTube Shorts, TikTok,
mm,
Instagram, etc.
mm,
Um, I use if I'm not using Opus, if I want something a little more customized and
mm,
I'm actually editing the clips more manually myself, I'll use
mm,
an app called Captions to help
mhm,
let me customize my captions. Um, that's a really these are really great tools to help output a lot of content quickly.
mm,
And then just the standard, I mean, ChatGPT has come a very long way, and there's a lot of other ones. Gemini is fantastic. Claude is
mm,
really good for like transcribing and creating PD and like understanding PDFs. Um, It helps with blog content. I'm in not only do I work in AI, but I also, we also do SEO. That's kind of one of our main verticals.
Mm-hmm.
And we can output a lot of content very quickly by using
Yeah.
ChatGPT to help organize our ideas, to help structure the content. We use Jasper to help write the content. Jasper writes content very, very well.
Mm.
Helps
Okay.
you think of new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it can mimic your brand voice. So
Oh.
when you're writing content for different clients, different businesses, it will write the
Mm-hmm.
content differently based on what you've trained it on.
Oh.
Um, we use a application as well called Clearscope. This is a really, really cool application. What it does is it analyzes the top 30 positions within Google search. And those it analyzes all the content, it analyzes all the keywords in those
Mm-hmm.
content in that content, and it basically says, here is to help you rank. Here's about
Mm-hmm.
how long your content needs to be for this particular search query. Here's
Okay.
not only the keywords that you need to add into the content, but how many times you should add it into your content to rank well. And then
Mm.
it'll even go as far as saying like specific keywords. How often are they appearing in various titles or headings within your
Mm.
content? And so you know exactly how to structure your content and write it.
Okay.
So those are the few of the applications that we use on a daily basis.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. And wow. And what do you say, like for the young entrepreneurs who are trying to escape from 9 to 5, uh, like time is everything, definitely. So how does AI actually help them scale faster without getting into burnout or chaos?
So a big thing that I do, like you have to constantly be learning. The
Mm,
industry and every industry is changing rapidly with AI.
mm,
So a lot of times, I have my hands in a lot of different businesses.
yeah.
Um, a lot of times what I'll do, so there's various AI applications like ChatGPT is really good about this. You can turn on the voice chat.
Mm,
Um, and sometimes I'll just talk to it
okay.
like it's, like you and I are talking, and I'll just bounce
Mm,
ideas off of the AI, and then it will talk back to me like we're talking to each other right now.
mm,
And it's almost just like sitting there with, and you can prompt it to think and act a certain way. So if I need something
mm,
specific operationally,
mhm,
I'll just say, hey, I need you to be my COO in this
mhm,
conversation. And then it already knows my business because I use it so often. And we'll just have a conversation about operations specifically for a particular business or client and what are the best things that we can do. And it's like having an extra coworker there. Um, another, one of the big things as a young entrepreneur, and like you
mhm,
said, people that are trying to escape the nine to five,
mm,
they are incredibly busy. Not only are they working their 9 to 5 and sometimes multiple 9 to 5s, but they're also trying to build their business and
mm,
working up to, that moment where they burn the boats and they don't look back. And all of a sudden now they are a true business owner and freelancer. Um, there's a lot of things that you forget because there's a lot of balls that you're having to juggle. And so using AI to, I use, um, a specific tool device. It's called a Plod
mhm,
Pen, and I record every single meeting. There's other things that like hop on meetings for you, like Otter or
mhm,
um, other tools like that that transcribe all the meetings. They'll pick out the specific points and like highlight specific points within the meetings, and
mm,
then they'll let you know the tasks and the to dos. So what's the worst thing? Like you want to be in the moment. with your clients. You want to be in the moment with the people that you're talking to. And if you have to
Mhm.
constantly stop a conversation or maybe miss something because you're writing notes, like before, you know, we hired people for that. We hired assistants to take notes in meetings. Now AI can do that for you and you don't have to miss anything. It will even write an email, a follow-up email for you with the main points of the meeting and the tasks for each individual person. Um,
Mhm.
it's honestly one of the without it, I couldn't do what I'm doing.
Wow, amazing. And also, like you have mentioned before, that strategy matters, but simplicity and the systems are what make growth sustainable. So, how do you um, teach that mindset to clients who are still in the hustle phase?
So I guess in regards to the strategy, I mean, that is that's one thing that currently at this moment in time AI can help with, but is not
Mhm.
fantastic at just yet. There's years and years of experience of like just like real experience that AI just doesn't have. And it's
Mhm.
constantly learning and compounding on itself. So if you and I talk again at this time next year, um, we might be having a completely different conversation because AI might be able to
Mhm.
do that. So I think the thing is that your strategy, that the emotion within your content, you have to keep the emotion in your content. You have to keep the emotion within your business. That's one thing AI just isn't getting right these days yet, and you can tell.
Mhm.
You can tell if a piece of content's made through AI and it's not edited at all. Um, you can,
Mhm.
like, if I write an email, trying to structure an email solely with AI,
Mhm.
like you know, you're gonna have to edit it a little bit because
Okay.
it doesn't have it right. And I think for any business, the most successful ones are the ones that, you know, are able to use emotion
Mhm.
and able to kind of hit people in their heartstrings. People have to understand that you care about
Mhm.
them and that you are in this with them and helping to grow their business with them. And if taking out that human element, your business just won't succeed.
Okay. So, like, definitely, it's such a powerful shift, like, especially for high performers who are used to doing everything manually. So, yeah, definitely. And
Mhm.
also, like, this might sound contradictory, but it's actually not. Like, some people fear AI is going to replace jobs and creativity, but you agree that it frees us to be more strategic. So, if you can explain that.
Yeah, that fear is very real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's so the book, um, Grapes of Wrath, it starts out with it was the best of times, and it was the worst of times. So that's in reference to, you know, when a lot of industries were focused solely like you were a, big like the modern day millionaires back then owned a lot of land. And then all of a sudden, when the industrial revolution started coming around across the world,
Mm-hmm.
we started seeing you can have the exact same output and the exact same productivity on a 1 acre form of land because you're building a factory on it than 100
Yeah.
acres. And a lot of people were becoming displaced.
Mhm.
And the concept of the best of times and the worst of times. It's the best of times because it's really exciting and it's really,
Mhm.
things are changing and changing for the better. But it was the worst of times because a lot of people are struggling because people weren't adapting fast enough because it was moving fast. This happened over 100 years, okay, with
Okay.
this transition. Now, this the advancement in AI has happened over the course of 5, 10 years that it's really been taking off. Like it,
Mm,
humans are not built to transition that fast. Like
mm,
biologically, when you grow up, you're learning certain
yeah.
skills and you're learning how to function in a particular world. And this is going to be one of the first times in history that what you learned growing up and the world that you grew up in is not going to be the world that you are an adult in. And I just think it's it's unfortunate, it's a little bit scary, but at the same time, you know, the the terrible truth about it in a way is
Mm,
that AI is going to replace a lot of jobs and a lot of industries, especially once it really starts learning and all of kind of the restrictions are taken off of it. And so
mm,
I think as a business owner, you need to be taking that into consideration. Like there will be a day where I will be running several
mm,
different businesses and some, you know, I might just be checking the bank account, but like everything else will be controlled by AI. So I just think this is a time where you need to, again, you need to just be learning and you need to be making sure that you and your business is set up for that eventual reality.
mhm. Okay. That's true. That's lovely. And how do we stay human first while being AI empowered? So, what do you say?
Yeah, so there's a book by a former FBI, like one of the top FBI negotiators here in America. His name's Chris Voss, and he
Mhm,
talks about a thing called tactical empathy. And the difference between AI and humans is the empathetic ability of humans that AI just does not have yet. And so when in your job, in your relationships, in your
mhm.
business, making sure that the people that you're interacting with on a daily basis understand not only that you get what they're saying, but that you just like you are understanding it from their level. You are feeling what they are feeling. Um, and you're using that to help propel their business. And in turn, it's going to propel your business. Because the one thing that even before AI, that the most successful businesses were able to do is they were able to just have their users understand that they got it.
Yeah.
I'm creating this service or I'm creating this product because I get you. Yes, I am asking you for money. I'm asking you to buy this,
Mm,
and that advantages me in a way, but I understand who you are and I understand why you need to purchase this product. Um, a big area in AI that AI is really helping with right now
yeah.
that you still kind of need that human element for is before in the space, in the advertising space, let's just say,
Mm,
we're always focused on who our end user is.
mm,
But at the end of the day, I can show an ad to a
mm,
million women ages 35 to 55. But the reason why people buy is not because of who they are, it's because of the why. Why are they
yeah.
purchasing your product? Why are they buying your product?
Mm,
And AI is helping us to finally understand the why behind purchase intent across the board.
mm, true. Understood. And also, um, we often talk about AI in kind of techie or business terms, but uh, isn't this also about mental health, like uh, relieving pressure and regaining the focus, avoiding burnout? What's it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest stressor of humans across the board? Um, money.
Mm-hmm.
Money's the biggest stressor, probably. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely statistically the thing that ruins marriages the most. Um, Sitting there for hours every month, figuring out what money's coming in, what money's going out, how to optimize your budgets, how to make sure that you're in the black every single month. Um, that is something that is a very stressful aspect. And when people are having money problems, uh, it ends up filtering into and kind of bleeding into other areas of their life. So AI is with AI, you basically can have an accountant with you at all times,
Mm-hmm.
tracking what money's coming in, tracking what money's going out. It can give you suggestions on where you can save based on, you know, your household size, based on, the area that you live. It can help you analyze all of these various aspects, which then completely cuts down on the amount of time it's going to take you to perform your budgeting tasks every single month. And that it filters into a million other areas outside of budgeting. But because it's cutting down on that time, it frees you up for other things. It frees you up to, if you have kids, to not spend hours upon hours at your desk or in the office every single day. Like, you now have time to spend time with your kids. You now can unplug knowing that something isn't going to take you as long, or something is being automated that you typically would have had to do manually. And you know you can take that extra break during the day. You have that time to go to the gym. You have that time to focus on, you know your overall health. I think health is another big stressor. So analyzing what you're eating, how it's affecting you, using AI to help analyze all of those data points of your life is just going to make you much healthier and take all that stress off.
Okay. Okay. Good. Great. Michael, I mean, this is really exactly the grounded, practical, and the inspiring conversation we all needed, because you have shown us that AI isn't just about the tech giants; it's all about us. I mean,
Right.
especially the solopreneurs, side hustlers, and small business warriors doing it all. So that's really a great help.
Yeah. If I can add one more thing for
Yeah, yeah,
people
please.
that are looking to, just increase their output. So
Sure.
when for the longest time, I mean, everybody thinks of, you're kind of grown up saying, hey, you go to
Mm.
school, you get a good job, you pay your bills, and then you die. Like,
Mm.
that's life. And
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be that way now that we have AI. So for the longest time, there's a big trend online called overemployed.
Mm.
Overemployed is people that have not only one job, but they have multiple jobs, multiple 9 to 5 jobs, because you can work from home. And basically you just have to go to meetings. And a lot of times what AI is helping with is
Mm.
it's taking a 40-hour work week and severely condensing it. So there's people out there now that they're starting
Mm.
side hustles, they're starting businesses, they're also doing 1 to 2 to 3 9 to 5 jobs because
Mm.
things aren't as manual. This is especially prevalent in the tech industry,
Yeah.
for coders and developers, for
Mhm.
marketers, where they're having multiples of these jobs because they can automate sometimes 80% of the entire
Mhm.
operation. And it's kind of a new way to increase your income and increase, your your ability for freedom, honestly.
Exactly. That's very true. That's really, really true. Lovely. So, everyone who is listening, speed is the new advantage, but speed doesn't mean chaos. It means clarity systems and the smart support, like Michael has mentioned. So, AI is here and it's not going away. The question is, are you going to use it or get left behind? So that is the big question. Do let me know what do you think in the comment section on the social media or on any podcast platform. Would love to know your perspective. And so, Michael, if someone wants to connect with you, what would be the best medium to connect?
Sure. My website is
Mm.
madmanmarketing.io. Um, Social media, the best social media platform to see kind of the most recent updates and what I'm doing in this industry is Instagram. It's at Michael is not available. Um, I am available if you reach out. I'll talk to you. The name suggests otherwise, but I am. So, um, yeah, those are the two places that are best to find me.
Amazing. That's really lovely. So, dear listeners, I'll put all the links into the show notes for your easy reference. And this is your host, Avik, signing off from AI Biz. So, until next time, think smarter, scale up faster, and always build with heart. So, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.